Hi everyone, it's Graham again and welcome back to my channel. So today I am here to talk about my top 5 Agatha Christie novels. I think you'll probably know what my number 1 will be, but yeah, we'll just go with it. So without much further ado, let's get into those books. So my number 5 is Mysterious Affair at Styles. This is the very first Agatha Christie novel. It's the first time we meet Hercule Poirot. It was published in 1920, 1920 in the US and 1921 in the UK. This tells the story of a family who are living in a house called Styles Court, and the mother is murdered via poisoning. Poirot steps in and unravels all the clues. He comes to the conclusion that, you know, she was murdered for money, and yeah, it's such a good one. And I have read this, I think maybe 2 or 3 times now, and I always find something different when I'm reading it. It's great and I highly recommend it. So my number 4 is And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. This tells the story of a group of people who are invited to an island. They sail out in a boat and they are living on the island. And one by one they start to die. And it's based on a children's nursery rhyme. I think it's 10 Little Indians it's called. And indeed this book has been called a couple of other titles, but they are socially unacceptable nowadays. So yeah, And Then There Were None. Yeah, they all die in horrid ways, and it's a standalone. There's no Miss Marple, there's no Poirot, and the ending is just the twistiest end I think I've ever read in a novel, and I really liked it. This is terrifying. It's just so gripping and brilliantly written, as all Agatha Christie novels are, but I recommend this one as well. My number 3, I know someone who will be very, very happy that this has made my top 5, is 5 Little Pigs by Agatha Christie. This tells the story of Carla Le Marchant, who has approached Hercule Poirot to try to solve the murder of her father and the death of her mother 15 or 16 years before. So it's like a cold case. The police feel that they have solved the murder, that it was Amias Creel's wife, Caroline, who committed the crime, but Poirot steps in and interviews all the people that were around the 5 Little Pigs, and he discovers that, in fact, no, Amias Creel's wife did not kill him. Someone else did. So my number 2 is Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. This is probably about the second Agatha Christie I ever read, and I absolutely love this. It's set on a paddle steamer on the Nile, and there is murder and death and money and hatred and all the good stuff that we find in Agatha Christie's novels. The twist in this is just astounding as well, and the movie adaptations are also very, very good. It's all about love and hate and money and yeah, all the good stuff that's in Agatha Christie novels. I highly recommend this one as well. It's so good. And my number 1, as if we needed any introduction to it, is Murder on the Orient Express. I adore this book. This is my favourite book of all time. I read this for the first time when I was 13 years old. I was transported into a world that I never knew existed, but that I feel was absolutely made for me. I was introduced to Agatha Christie's writing, I was introduced to Poirot, and I was introduced to the genre of murder mystery, crime thriller. And it's something that I have never regretted, and I've never looked back. This tells the story of a group of people who are stranded on a train, the Orient Express, and they are in a snowdrift. They're stuck, and a murder takes place. And Poirot is on the train. He's returning from a holiday, and he steps in and solves the crime. This is probably one of Agatha Christie's most famous novels, if not the most famous of her novels. And it's just so good. Again, the plotting, the twists, the clues, the red herrings are just everything that Agatha Christie does so well in her novels. And I would recommend this to everyone, the world and his mother, because it's just so good. And indeed, all of these 5 are incredible. They are my top 5. I haven't read all of Agatha Christie's books by a long chalk, because there are a finite number of them, and I don't want to not have a new Agatha Christie to read. I suppose one day I will have read them all, but I like to reread them, because I feel that with Agatha Christie's writing, there's always something new on every reread, and you find something that you never necessarily found the first time around. Her writing is so multi-layered. It's so deftly done. It's just, there's so many little bits along the way that you don't necessarily see, but on rereads, you see these things and you're like, wow, that's how that was done. That's how that was solved. That's the clue that Poirot got that got him to this conclusion. It's just astounding, and I love Agatha Christie so much. She is my favourite author of all time. And this is my favourite book of all time, Murder on the Orient Express. And these are my top 5. So yeah, what are your top 5 Agatha Christie novels? What are your top 5 novels in general? Let me know, and we'll have a chat about it in the comments down below. But I will say thank you so much for watching. I'll let you go. Whatever you're doing, I hope you have so much fun doing it. Whatever you're reading, I hope you love it. Stay fabulous, be amazing, be yourself, stay safe. And I'll see you again soon for another video. Bye bye.